get into nuts and bolts today. Oop.
I
So I'm going to get
recording. Now I've started it.
That's okay. So I'm really kind of a nuts and bolts, no nonsense kind of a girl, because I just want to get down and dirty. And I don't know if that's because I have 4 brothers and 3 sons, and we don't mince words and we just get shit done, as I like to say. And so I will start with our story, and I like to, show pictures rather than you guys seeing my face. So I am going to share my screen here and get right to where I had the PowerPoint. Right, here we go. And we're going to start from the beginning, because I do like to call this duplicating a virtual blueprint, right? What do you think of when you think of a blueprint? You think of a plan, right? A blueprint is a plan to build a building. And so we have a plan in our Juice Plus business, obviously, to build a business. And I really believe that if you stick around long enough and you work hard enough and you take this seriously, that you will create legacy. And we have been able to do that. We're really, I say this very humbly and honored that I, had so many people who, like Chris and Nikki and my upline sponsorship and Crossline, that were just there to love on me and support me and encourage me through, some really tough times when I wanted to quit. And I wanted to quit a few times. And Jerry Waits, who, God rest his soul, was my corporate partner at our corporate office. I cried many a tear with him, and he was there to love on me as well. So not only do we have our family, our Juice Plus Crossline family who in the field, but we also have some amazing people at corporate that help us create this legacy if you want to. And so this is way back when we started in 1996, and I was 32. And my husband was about 36, and our boys were 2, 4, and 8. And I was teaching aerobics. I was a personal trainer. My husband was working for my family in the construction business, and we really hit some rocky roads, as Chris and Nikki understand, in the building industry. Late 80s, early 90s was tough. It was tough. And my husband, I can't remember what time of when it happened, but he was going 2 years without a paycheck. And it was when we were trying to sell the business. My 4 brothers, my dad, my husband all worked together, which is a challenge in and of itself. And my little fun, aerobics check and personal training check was not going to pay the bills. And that was where I believe God put someone in my life. Many of you may know Catherine Lee, who has become one of my dearest friends. And we just got to talking about produce when we were in the grocery store. She recognized me from the gym. I remember picking up a peach, and I said, "Do you ever feel like there's no nutritional value in this?" And I just totally set her up. And she said, "That's what I do, why I do what I do." And of course, I'm like, "Well, what do you do?" And she said, "I work with a company that has been able to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule." And you guys, I was sold. I mean, I immediately, I'm like, how come I didn't hear about this? And at that point, it had been out for 3 years, so not a long time, but I was fired up, and I shared with everybody that I came into contact with. And this is my upline. You'll probably laugh at these pictures, Chris and Nikki, because my God, what was I thinking with that hair color? But anyway, I was, right green in the business, and my sponsor, Catherine, and her sister-in-law, now ex-sister-in-law, is the one who shared Juice Plus with her. And Kelly Newland knew Wendy Campbell. You probably might look at Wendy and think she looks familiar. And this is many years ago. And Wendy had shared about Juice Plus in a Christmas letter that she had sent to Kelly. And they were nurses together, and their children were friends when they had lived in California. So it's kind of interesting how one Christmas card created all of this business, mentioning in a couple sentences in a Christmas card, because Catherine was looking at a way to be healthier. So that's kind of the long and the short of kind of how I found out about Juice Plus. Hit national marketing director. There's our 3 little guys. And it was right up there with getting married, having my 3 kids, graduating from college. And this was right up there, and not in that particular order either. I mean, this was really an accomplishment that I'm very proud of. And I worked really hard to get there. And anything that's worth anything is going to take some hard work, but it never was full-time work. It was just very focused work. And that's what I'll talk a little bit about. Of course, I cannot even bring up my story without mentioning our fearless leader, Jay Martin, who had a vision years ago, 50 years ago, to start a company that is still standing today. And he is the ultimate legacy creator, I believe. And that is to build a stable and lasting company that will help you and me and Chris and Nikki and whoever wants to build their dreams. That's an amazing mission statement. And I and Bob will forever be grateful to Jay Martin for just that vision and you talk about a hardworking man that stuck to his vision. And I believe, and this is what Jay always says, you got to find a buddy. I say find buddies, find lots of buddies. And we're going to talk about that too. So everyone has a story to tell. And so these are some of our national marketing directors that just through the years, we were able to have rise up into this position as national marketing director. And we feel very honored that they're part of our team. And of course, you can't build a huge income unless you have a group of people that are willing to step up and lead. And all of these amazing people have stepped up. And one of being my oldest brother, Jerry, and his wife, Rosie Klein, who this has been their sole income just about as long as my husband and I. And it's been now, we've been in the business 25 years, and it's been our sole income, I think, since 2001. Actually, 99. So we're very grateful to our whole team. And this is just a part of our team. And that community, that family that we have is really incredible. And I wish that for all of you as well, because then we can change more lives. So I want to get deep into kind of some struggles, because all of us, every single one of us, I bet you, has experienced some doubt and some discouragement. But you know what? We have two choices with that, don't we? And it's pretty simple. We can give up or we can get better. Really, that's how simple as I look at it. And when you work on yourself, you do get better. And I just want to underscore, your upline is not your psychiatrist or your boss. They will support you. They will give you books to read, videos to watch, things like this. This kind of support is there for you to get better. But we don't have those deep skills that, you know, might be needed, where you just have to peel off those layers of the onion and dig deep and figure it out sometimes. And so reading books, taking personal development seminars. Now we have Ditch the Pitch, which is amazing. We had Brave Leaders that the company has offered. There's great documentaries. Get some coaching upline, maybe some sign line buddies you can buddy up with and have accountability. And just taking responsibility, because you're an entrepreneur. If you've never been an entrepreneur, you've never had your own business, and you've always worked for somebody, it's a shift in thinking, because you don't have to answer to us. You don't answer to your upline. You literally have to make a decision each day to go to work, because you're not clocking in and we're not going to fire you. You know, you make that decision. So it is a shift if you've never been an entrepreneur. And, you know, don't beat yourself up either, because it's really a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. You make mistakes, you discipline your disappointments, and you move on. And it is retraining your mind, like I said earlier, to think like an entrepreneur and treating it like a real business, because it'll pay you like a real business. I promise you that. And never stop being a student. I think when we stop learning, we stop growing, we stop evolving, and it's like death to us all. It's our brain has to continue to be a student. I love this little saying from Kurt Beavers, and he says, customers add to your business, right? Absolutely. But the team multiplies it. Now, those customers oftentimes, we hope, will transition, will be a raving fan, and then they'll start wanting to share Juice Plus. And I've got a quick funny story. So one of our long time friends, in fact, her name's Karen, and she was roommate with Bob in college before Bob and I met. So Bob's known her for about 40 years. Just a few weeks ago, she finally started on Juice Plus. She got a tower guard. She signed up for the business. She partner plus in about 2 hours, and she's more than halfway to QSC. And we haven't even hit the 30 days yet. So it's funny how you just love on people and sometimes they just jump in, not even as a customer, she came in all at once. And sometimes that happens. And if we would have quit years ago, we would have never been able to have that opportunity with her. So we knew, you guys know about the Blitz. This is the perfect time. The company is gifting new people the opportunity to come into this business in June, July, well, June's gone now, but July and August by waiving that application fee. And what a gift for all of us to be able to reach out to those customers that you might see have a couple of orders coming up July 15th. Call them up and say, you know what? I don't know if this is for you or not, but we have this incredible summer program where the company has waived this fee and we can help people make between $500 and $1,000 in the next 30 to 60 days. I know you love Juice Plus. You've been on it for how long? You might know, you probably know their story. I know it's helped this, that, and that. Would you be interested in learning a little bit more about how you can share Juice Plus with those that you love and care about? So you just start identifying. You invite, you inspire them, and you get them involved. My next step with Karen is, I'm going to actually call her tonight and say, you know what, we need to do some in-home, fun. If there's alcohol, Karen will show up. I know that with her. So we'll have wine, of course, but making it fun for her friends. And we're going to keep it casual. People are now getting together. So that's how we're going to get her involved. And these brand new partners, you want to give them that opportunity, you guys. You maybe haven't connected with some of those customers or some of those Facebook friends for a while, and they might be struggling with their health and their finances. And we have the answer for both. I mean, how incredible is that? And with our Freedom Revolution, oh my gosh, I am so happy about what is going on with this website. It is so easy now. I feel very comfortable sending this link where the person I send it to without a password is going to be able to be gifted with information about our product and our business. Because here's the thing. You might just say, hey, just watch that Juice Plus Essentials video, and they might migrate over to the Juice Plus business part because nobody's looking over their shoulder. You didn't ask them to. You say, hey, here's the link. Let me send it to you. And here you can look at the products. Yeah, there's some stuff on the business. If you want to take a peek at that, absolutely, that's up to you. But I love that they're not going to get overwhelmed and we can send them. Or you can just spoon feed them a couple of videos too. My favorite is the Juice Plus Essentials and the Farm Nutrition. It's the farmers where they interview the farmers. I love those two, and they're less than 5 minutes together. So those are my two favorites. Find yours. And of course, this Get Started piece where you do need a password, which is welcome, all lowercase. That's the most beautiful startup in my 25 years that I have been with this company because it's so easy. And here it is. They literally can click and learn. So what I did with Karen is we got on Zoom shortly after I signed her up as a partner. I sent her the link to get herself signed up. I told her an email would come and to get a username, she'll get a temporary username and password. And we hopped on Zoom and we got her set up on her virtual office. And I started to show her these different tools. Just click and play. I remember Melissa Falco, I know she's on here too. Her and I were Voxery back a while ago, and she said, and Christine Averill was another one, I just want a click and play. A click and play. Can I just get a click and play? That's what we've got, a click and play right here in this getting started. And once they get to QSC, they're going to click it down at the bottom and go right to the next part of what they need. They don't need the whole website, right? They won't get that until they hit sales coordinator and they get the Revolution password. But I love that we have this. And for those of you who probably want to know how to build team, and I would say when we had the Rancho Bernardo leadership retreat that we did in May, I would say the majority, because I had everybody write the questions that they had, like where there's their challenge area. By far, the most common question was, how do I build team? How do I build team, right? And so if you go into the training section of the Freedom Revolution, you've got the how to build team. It's right here. sharing your business story. This whole part of it is right there. So utilize this website. It's your tool, right? It's like you get that toolbox. What's in that toolbox? Well, this website is there, and this will give you really everything you need. And the best part, you guys, is you don't have to know everything. All you do is guide them to the tool, guide this person, whether it's a prospect for the product or a prospect for the business or both. You're going to guide them to the tool that they need. And then the most critical thing is that you follow up. I'll give you another little story. When we were down in Southern California in May for this retreat, I went back to my hometown in San Juan Capistrano, went to this cute little boutique, met the owner. We had the greatest conversation, bought some cute clothes, and I am still following up with her. I probably followed up 8 or 9 times. We've had great conversations. I know her life's busy. She's been moving. She owns a couple of stores, but she has given me the green light that she's very interested to not give up on her. And I'm not giving up on her until she gives up on herself, right? So it might be 8, 9, 10 follow-ups. And that is the difference between building a business and not. And I'm sure Chris and Nikki have many stories too, how they followed up and followed up and followed up and followed up until they say, no, I'm not interested. Then I can say, well, if you change your mind, can I reach out to you in 6 months? And if they say no, then I know, I always ask them, can I keep you on my list, my mailing list, my email list, or now I have Project Broadcast. So I love this too, how to use this website. There's a great tutorial there by Brian Rose that talks about that. And there's your building your team section under training. For those of you who are sales coordinators and above, that password is Revolution. Okay, so just some more great things that you can look at within the building team section. The power of 3-way connections. Right? I like to do Zooms. I like to look eyeball to eyeball with people. My absolute favorite is to meet for coffee, but physically that's not always possible. If I have somebody who lives, like I've got a new team member who lives in Brooklyn, we can't get together for coffee except if we do it virtually. And expanding that team, right? We all want to expand the team, and there's tools all around how to do that. Just be familiar with these tools, you guys. They're really incredible. National marketing directors throughout the country have put their time and effort into these tools for you to have at your fingertip. And one other search part of the Freedom Revolution that I absolutely love is this toolbar. If you can't remember where I told you to go to the A through Z resources and put in team in the documents and team in the videos, and stuff pops up. Okay, so it's great. And honestly, if you have not yet met with Chris and Nikki or your upline national marketing director, because I know there's a few of you on here, get that dream team, fill that out, and make an appointment for a Zoom call with your sponsor, with your upline, so you can have the conversation about, okay, you've identified, right? Now, how do I invite to team? Well, this dream team are going to be 5 people that you've identified. And this video here by Danny Martin talks about the dream team, and here's the sheet. Okay, so that's another great tool Danny teaches us in that video. So just to kind of wrap it up, because I want to make sure I'm within 30 minutes. So with our Juice Plus business, honestly, it's always going to be a numbers game. You got to fill that hopper with people, new people. And all of us can talk to at least 1 person a day. That's 5 a week. That's 20 in a month. What about 2 people a day? That's 10 a week. That's 40 in a month, right? So you can decide who you're going to talk to, who you're going to follow up with. But I can tell you, to get to National Marketing Director in 2 years and 10 months, I went back and looked at what I did and how many people I had talked to. I talked to 500 people in a little bit less than 3 years. And what does that look like? Well, if you want to do it in 2 years, that's only 5 new people, like I said, per week. To get to NMD in 3 years, that would be 3 new people. And when I say new people, I don't mean having a conversation with that same person every single week. Yeah, you're going to do that follow-up. But if you're talking and identifying and building some relationship And Juice Plus doesn't even necessarily have to come up in that first conversation. But if you can talk to new people all the time, and then you add them to your memory jogger, I'm always updating my memory jogger and who I'm talking to, because I'll forget. And when you look at, my little things get in the way there, the law of averages will never lie. 500 people. Out of that, I got 150 to 200 customers. And here's the thing, customers come and go over that time. You know, people quit on me right away. Some got off, then they came back later. But I maintained about 30 to 40 families under myself and my husband, because we built both of our businesses to national marketing director. 40 of those joined the team. I tell you, if you look at your PVC report and you're frustrated because you haven't gotten a national marketing director and you've been here a long time, go down and count the ones, the people you've personally sponsored. If you haven't sponsored 40, you haven't done the work to get to national marketing director. And I still keep sponsoring frontline. So you've got to get 40 frontline, not 40 from in your whole team. I'm talking about 40 frontline, because 10 will quit. It's the law of averages. 10 of them will eat Juice Plus forever. They'll love it. They'll be your biggest fan club, right? 10 will get to QSC to SC, and some of them will qualify their business, and they'll share a little bit here and there. And, you know, remember, we have a lot of people who do a little bit, and they are a blessing in our business, whether they do a little or a lot. Quote from Wendy Campbell, if you've ever heard Wendy speak. And 10 out of those 40 are going to get to QSC, QSSC, and beyond, and they'll build the team. Those are your leaders, okay? So you've got to always remember, this is a numbers game. And signing somebody up just to get Juice Plus at cost, and they have no intention of building a business, I wouldn't really count that, because that's just really a customer, and you're going to follow up with them as a customer. But never stop sponsoring frontline if you want to make exceptional income. Because when you really look at it, the power of 3, okay, if you look at your earnings grow as your team grows. So if I built my customer base to about 30 to 40 families eating Juice Plus, and I were to teach 3 other team members to do that, then I'm looking at, between all 4 of us, we've got close to 100 trio orders. And I can confidently tell you that that is going to create between $650 to $1,250 per month. Some people put their product on hold. You know, there's lots of variables. So that window, I've looked through my PVC report. I've done this for years, and that's going to be the earnings that I see for a 3 clubber. Earnings continue. So those 3 that you taught, each teach 3. Again, it's the power of 3. Everybody has what we call a qualifying business. We've all got 30 to 40 families on Juice Plus. So altogether, that's about 288 families. Your check's going to be right around $2,000 to $3,300 a month. This would be, I would say, a really strong Q. That would be what I would consider to be a good 12 club. And then you duplicate that again, then you get to 24 club. When I went national marketing director, I was a 24 club, and a year later I hit 39 club. So you can see the team is duplicating. We all have a customer base, and some people aren't going to want to build team, and that's okay. But we work with the workers, and those who want to build team are going to take a little more of our time doing 3-way connections and things like that. We help them along the way. And I can tell you that that's like almost 600 families. I have 576. That'll give you about $5,000 to $7,000 a month. And when I hit national marketing director 2 years and 10 months into our business, I was making $7,500 a month. And that's what it took to get my husband to agree to retire. Because he told me if I could make $7,500 a month in my Juice Plus business, he would agree to retire. And then he got really scared because he was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And then if you just look at that duplication process of 29 club, 50 club, 75 and 100, you can just see the income just continues to go up exponentially. Now, are there 100 club, or are they national marketing directors that are all at least 24 club? No. There are some national marketing directors that have fallen to maybe a 10 club. And that's okay. They still keep that title. They earned national marketing director. And maybe they've had a lot going on in their life. And that's okay, because they can come right back into their business and rebuild it. That's the beauty. What other opportunity can you keep your title? You know, even if the wheels fall off and life happens, that you can come back and rebuild. It's really incredible. And just my final slide, I was thinking, what would be the picture I would want to show you guys? This was a dream that Bob and I had. We went to Italy and then we went to Spain. And this is a picture I just grabbed Bob and I just said, kiss me, right in this cute little alleyway. And this is what I look at, is all that hard work. That's our legacy. And your legacy is passed on through that hard work. And without the work, you have empty dreams of what could have been. So I ask you, what legacy do you want to leave? And I forgot to put a question mark there, but I think you get the idea. So with that, I know that was a lot.
So Deanna, we had a lot of great comments. You know, it's so informative. They just loved you. It was really sweet. So I'm going to put this for just a moment on gallery view. And what I do love about you, Deanna, is how much information that you put together in a short period of time, and really concise and direct, laser sharp. It's my favorite thing. When people can say that much in that little time, it means they're really focused. Seriously. Anybody have any questions? Anything?
All those aerobics I took, I didn't even have to do like one breath. I did that all with one breath.
No, only Wendy Campbell can do that.
Yeah.
When Wendy used to speak, I would leave the room and take a big breath and then come back in again. Literally. I was like,
yeah.
How'd she do it? So does anybody have a question for Deanna?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment, Nikki. Can I jump in really quick?
Sure.
I just want to say, Deanna, I want to acknowledge the fact that in the Southern California area anyway, you were one of the greatest teachers and coaches that we had. And truly, I say truly, like I would not have been able to grow up through this business without vision like yours. And I think it's so important that we all pay attention to the gifts and the talents that are available to us. There's so much wisdom, you know, in our company and in all the experience that it brings. And I just want to thank you so much for pouring your heart into us, because you're extraordinary. And I want to thank you for that.
Well, and you know, Melissa, you're so sweet for saying that, because it really takes a lot of different personalities. Melissa and I are very different personalities, but I could say the same thing about you, Melissa. When you get on that stage and you teach, I'm at the end of my seat, honestly. And Nikki has a totally different style. That's why that leadership, that retreat that we had in Rancho Bernardo, I think was so fascinating and such a success, because Nikki started us off with with only what Nikki can do. I can't do what Nikki does, right? And I can't do what Chris does. But together as cross-line buddies, we create this synergy of personalities and experiences and knowledge, and it just makes it magic.
It does. It does. Thanks. Thanks for that, Deanna. Chris, were you going to say something?
No, I just said fantastic job, and I appreciate what she just shared, that all of us synergistically create a magic culture.
I keep saying it takes a team to raise a leader.
Yes.
I really believe that. It takes a team to raise a leader, and I know that I need all of my people to help me do what I do. So no,
one other quote I would like, because this is an original, well, I actually have two original quotes. One is, I live vicariously through myself, and that's but and Chris does too, I could say that. Yeah. But also when the coach is ready, the team will appear. I've always said that too, because you know, it's a different mindset to be a coach. We know the game, right? The coach knows the game, but until you get belief from your team that you can actually lead them to a win, right? But you do it together, right? It takes everybody. The coach can't win without the team, and the team can't win without the coach. So that's that synergy together. And so sometimes if you've been kind of hanging out and not creating a team, I would really encourage you to believe enough in yourself that the tools are there where you can do it. You just have to believe in yourself. And when they see that you believe in yourself, they're going to follow. They're like, that's my coach. I can do this. And I'm going to be a good teammate with my coach. And we're going to do this together. And we're going to get this team is going to get to national marketing director together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very good.
Well, fantastic. You ended perfectly. I'm just running out of batteries. You couldn't have done it more spectacular. Anyway, if all of you, there's going to be a men's call, Take Healthy Back at 7 o'clock. Next week, I don't know what other HEAT NMDs are doing, but we have our celebration. Make sure you get your recognition forms in ASAP so your people can be recognized. And let's all take ourselves off mute and just give a couple words of appreciation for Deana. So
Thank you, Deana.
Awesome job.
Thank you
Good
so
job.
much. You were
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Thank you,
Hello.
Deana.
Thank you so much.
Inspired.
Good night, guys.
Thank you.
no, that's Christine.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you guys. My pleasure, my honor. Have a wonderful evening. God
Good
bless.
night, everybody.